Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this flip through of my Hobonichi planners. If you'd like to see what I've done in the month of April, stick around. What's up, friends? It's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for being here today. I'm excited to share with you what I've done in my Hobonichi planners in April. Today is May 3rd, so we just finished the month and I am all caught up. I try to stay as on top of my journaling as possible. It helps keep me sane and keep my brain somewhat in order. So I guess I can switch this little tab, but this was my little April monthly spread in my cutie patootie Hobonichi weeks. And now we are in May, so I can move my tab. And the weeklies were kind of a hot mess because I got a little mixed up, I think, when I was filming. But I'll show you them anyway. They're not necessarily my fave, and that's okay. I'm still going to show them to you. I film way ahead. That's just the way my brain works, and it just helps me stay organized with content and all of that. So I realize that that's not for everybody. But here is probably my favorite, one of my favorite spreads. Here, let me zoom in. This is probably one of my favorite spreads just because all of the washi and the colors look so cute together. And I wrote in it. And I don't know, I just like when a planner spread looks kind of full. But I just keep showing you these just in case it's inspiring to you. I chose to use this section for gratitude because I was feeling very grumpy dumpy. And I find that when you try to focus on the little things, it helps to shift your mood. This was when we were leaving for spring break. This was during our spring break and on the way back. I chose to use this section here to highlight all of just some fun memories from our trip with family. Didn't really like this spread at all. I was trying to use up stickers from JoJo's Pretty Paper Shop, which is what these are as well. I have tons of them, and so I try to use them as often as I can. But I really hated the like blue and yellow, and it just didn't turn out the way I liked. But that's okay. This one was very cute, so it was redeeming for me. And actually, since I said today's the 3rd, this is where we're at. At the moment, Nora and Matt are out doing grocery shopping and running errands. And I just finished cleaning the house, so I'm tired. Okay, so that is my little Hobonichi weeks. And then my cousin is my like bread and butter, my main planner, my Bible, if you will, my brain on paper. And I'm obsessed with this cover. I can't get enough of it. And I usually, like, I'm somebody who's never planned with a cover on, but I just love this so much. And every time I look at it, it brings me joy. So I'm leaving it on for now. And then, so the monthly, that's May. This was my monthly for April. And then the weeklies, let's see. So first week of April, I was using up the kit and then bringing in some large doodles as well. And this one was, according to Allie, blooms and then some alcohol inks. This was when we were away and then leaving. And then Nora had her, like, the whole fiasco where the state tests didn't work. And I'll get into that when I get to the daily journaling. And then this one was my sticker vomit cluster situation. I like it better written in, which is funny. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I prefer the before the pen, and sometimes I'm very happy with the way it looks after I write in it. And in this case, I liked how it looked written in. This was when I finally started working out again, my first full week of working out and getting back to my health routine. So you could see my habits are filled in, whereas the previous week, they are not. Also, we were traveling, right? So that I never really keep track of that stuff when I'm traveling. But there was a lot of to-dos and things going on this week. It was a busy week. I love this one with the creativity stickers and then different alcohol inks from According to Allie. This has a Plan With Me video, so definitely check that out in case you missed it. And then this is the end of April going into May. So really these 3 days are only the last days of April. And then last but not least, I have my daily pages. So I always start my landing page, or my currently page, I call it. It's just this big blank page that you can do whatever you want with for the month. And I use it as a currently page. So I'll sum up for you all of my ing words. So reading in the month, I read James, A Flicker in the Dark, The Giver of Stars, This Tender Land, The Favorites, The God of the Woods, The Boyfriend, Ordinary Grace, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and The Bodyguard. I was watching Mufasa, Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Harry Potter 1 and 2, the Saturday Night Live 50th Anniversary Special, and Seasons 1 and 2 of The White Lotus. We are planning Disney and a work tag-along trip in August to Pittsburgh, a visit with my mother-in-law who's coming in a few weeks, and Teacher Appreciation Week as my role and part of the PTA. Eating healthy after spring break, but total crap before. Lots of takeout food on the road and lots of Starbucks. Nora and I are obsessed with the cherry chai. The iced cherry chai is so good. Loving my new inhaler, Symbicort, because I can breathe and don't wheeze. Being able to move my body again. Spring sunshine and longer days. Trying Nora riding a bike, which she has mastered, by the way. Almond-shaped nails, which this is a new shape for me. I need to repaint them. I just cleaned the house and everything, but this is after like a week's worth of dishes and cleaning and all of that working. So don't just ignore them. But I did change the shape. Nora encouraged me, and I'm giving it a try. Keeping Toothless up so he sleeps at night, which has somewhat been successful. And then to start a commonplace planner, which if you missed out that video, check out my Flip Through Friday haul a couple weeks back. It was so much fun to set up, and I can't wait to keep adding to it. Okay, so getting into the daily pages. Love these 2 pages. Using Coffee Monster Co. washi and cutouts from my little calendar by Hands Off My Dinosaur. You can get it on Amazon, and I always cut these out and use these in my daily journaling. Just doodled some new products we got after school. I picked Nora up and we had to go to Target to get a whole bunch of like body care items and skincare items, and of course a random bag of mini Cadbury eggs because those are my favorite in the Easter season. Talking about being excited about upcoming plans. By the way, this was when I was journaling with my Hong Dion, which is one of my favorite cheapy pens off Amazon. It's like $20, and it was inked up with the Coffee Monster Co. ink. It's an extra fine nib. There's no, I think is it out of ink right now? Let me just see. Oh no, right now it has gray in it. It has like a new gray ink I purchased, but I love the way this writes and it feels. So I was talking about that I had upcoming plans about, at the time, planning our short trip to Michigan, and then Lori coming out in May, and then Disney and Universal, because as of April 1st, we could finally see like the flights available on Southwest, and starting to look into packages for potential savings if we end up going, or when we end up going to Disney, but probably there won't be any deals. We haven't seen any yet that apply to the time frame that we're going. And then just talking about craving French fries and a vanilla milkshake after. So I like randomly, after we had left Target, I randomly pulled over and was like, we're going to go in here and get some fries and a shake. And Nora was like, yes, best day ever. So total impromptu craving, but it was super fun to do. Talking about the rain and a change of plans with my work schedule. And that I was surprised because I got to be in Nora's classroom and the other 4th grade classroom for about a week, which was pretty cool. This was our Planner Bestie Day. I switched the days because I journaled on the wrong days. So this was Thursday. So Thursday happened before Friday, obviously. So I'll get to that in a second. This sticker is from, I have a couple of these Amy Tangerine. Sorry, I just hit my phone. Oh my goodness. I have a couple of these Amy Tangerine sticker books that are awesome. I've shared them in Flip Through Friday hauls before. They're just really versatile. They're in paper and on clear sticker paper. So you get like double the stickers. And they're just really fun for daily journaling. Highly recommend if you like her style. Okay. What else? Oh, and as far as like my markers, let's see. I can tell this is a mild liner. This was my new mild liner, but this was a Rytech brush pen. And these are Rytech brush pens. I love them. talking about work, and then me writing over and over that I do not need another fountain pen, which is what I was trying to tell myself before we went to Planner Bestie Day. And then I just put this on one of the little, like I got the notepad from the Coffee Monster Co. It's so cute. This little notepad, and I just cut out one of the columns and I wrote my favorite quote of the day, which was, "Mrs. Chapman, you're my favorite teacher ever." And I just put the student's initial for privacy reasons. And then how Nora was so excited to have me be in her classroom, like she could not sleep, which I thought was so cute. And then Planner Bestie Day, meeting up with Jen and Linda. You guys probably saw, if you follow me on Instagram, I was sharing as much as I could in my stories. So I journaled all the places that we went to. We went to a stationery store together. We got lunch, and we did our favorite thing, which is just perusing tiny towns and window shopping and actual shopping, going to bookstores and that kind of thing, and just talking and catching up. It was just the best day, and I absolutely loved it. And then I got home at a decent time, so we took Nora to dinner at one of our favorite little Mexicana restaurants and walked a little bit around our downtown area. Saturday and Sunday, so Coffee Monster Kawashi again. I've got some stickers that I was using that Linda gave me when we met up. And then I was using my Lamy, it's the Lamy, but it's like clear, so it has a different name that I can't think of right now. These are Ride Tech brush pens again, and I'm just journaling about, like, Saturday was really busy. I cleaned, and then we had to go shopping all together, and then I filmed a whole bunch of videos, and how you could see I'm thinking about starting a commonplace journal, which I now have. Nora had a little play date with her friend Tessa, and then after she left, we ate dinner and we watched Mufasa as a family. Let's see. Oh, Sunday fun day. So it was church day. We picked up chai and our coffees beforehand, and I'm a regular at the Starbucks that's around the corner from me, and so they were like, "We have 2 extra chais. Do you want them?" The customer said they weren't going to come pick them up, and I was like, "Yes, please." So I wrote about that and just bonus chai. And then how after church we went to this really cool little like art studio that one of my students' parents owns and runs in our town, and she started doing this like once a month stories and like screen printing, stamping, painting, like artsy little workshops, and it's a very reasonable price for like hours, 2 hours of fun. And that was our first one, and the first one she held, and actually we're going to the next one tomorrow after church, so it'll be a very similar journaling page, I'm sure, pending everything works out. So I journaled about that, and then after we walked across the street to our other friend's brand new brewery that just opened. It was really, really cute, and we spent some time there, so I journaled about that. This is covered up for privacy reasons, journaling about like very specific challenging work days in behavior rooms and with my self-contained classrooms. And then also some other things that are going on at work that I wanted to cover up. Again, I journaled about the wrong thing on the wrong day. So I just wrote this was Tuesday's journaling and this was Monday's journaling, but the rest of it applies to the correct day. Talking about how I finally finished my antibiotics on this day, April 7th, finally finished them. Still had a wheeze though, and hadn't picked up my new prescription for Syncopation yet, so that'll change. But at this point, I'm still not working out because I'm still wheezing. Still don't have a full voice, still can't sing. And then talking about how tired I've been, and we're binge watching the Daredevil show. Let's see. Oh, I took a nap on Tuesday because I was so tired. And I also went and got Easter goodies that day for Nora's basket. This was the days, okay, these were the state testing days for New York State for their ELA parts 1 and 2. But Nora's class was the only class to finish their New York State part 1 test before all the servers crashed and people couldn't get on. So they sent out this like massive text saying that they were rescheduling the ELA testing for after spring break. So I feel so bad for the kids because this past week was when they finished it, but next week they have their math. So 2 weeks in a row of back-to-back, like multiple day testing. It's a lot. I'm considering opting her out next year. My husband's kind of against it. I would love to know your thoughts if you're somebody who has a kiddo and you've gone down this path of, do we opt out or do we kind of make them take the tests? Comment down below if you have an opinion on that. Started watching White Lotus. For the first day of testing, I got to be hall security, which was really fun. And then I took Nora for a treat afterwards. I got her some cookies at the cookie factory. I'm not working this day because we leave for Michigan the next day. I normally work Thursdays, but I took this day off to like pack, clean the house, get everything finished, and all that kind of stuff. And these are done with my Rytech brush pens again. And then different stickers from these two, I think are from the Amy Tangerine sticker books. These are cutouts from that calendar. And then this was a leftover sticker from Paper Minty Studio. This was a sticker from Linda. And a lot of these stickers that they've given me are amazing, but they're on these strips, right? Like they're washi sticker strips. And I think what I'm going to do is come up with a way to store these creatively. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that. If you're somebody who has a lot of these like PET tape or like long sticker strip rolls, let me know if you'd be interested in that. Then we left the next day. We started watching Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets that night, so that was very exciting because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan and I could not wait to get Nora into it. These are stickers from a Richard Scarry activity book. These are from Pipsticks. This is washi from the Coffee Monster Co. This was the notice or whatever you want to call it from my mother-in-law about her mom's memorial, which is why we traveled to Michigan. It was on Saturday, so I talked about the memorial service and how I got to meet some of Matt's family for the first time. So yeah. Then more Coffee Monster Kawashi. Let's see, I got scammed again. If you remember, like last summer, I think it was the summer when we got scammed, and I thought somebody was selling furniture for their deceased grandparents, but it was like somebody had been hacked, and I ended up sending like $400 or more to this person who was $400 richer, and there was nothing I could do about it for a couch I never got. Well, a similar thing happened to me this time. Again, we're in Michigan, and I'm realizing that an acquaintance of mine's account was hacked on Instagram this time, and she was asking for money because I thought it was her, was saying that her phone was getting turned off. So we got scammed. I was out, like, this time it was $150. Big bummer. We took all the cousins to the zoo, and then we had dinner at this downtown market in Grand Rapids, which was really fun. Then Monday we made my little family and I went into Old Town in Lansing, and I went to Odd and Odd Art Supply and got a new fountain pen and some other little goodies, which I shared in a haul. This was a wrapper from these caramels that Nora's obsessed with. They're so good, but you can only get them at Costco, and we don't have a Costco. Let me know if you've had them, the salted caramels. Oh my gosh, they're delicious. Watched The Chamber of Secrets. Nora ended up having a nightmare, and at this point, she is just not sleeping well. The rest of the trip was like kind of a nightmare as far as sleep was concerned. We hung out with her cousin Fiona that night and had dinner at their house. And while we were there, Nora drew this little thing she calls potato. So I put that in there. Then we started traveling back to New York, but we first stopped at Outlets and went to Lululemon. We got stopped at Customs, which was insane. It's like a super long story, but it was not pleasant at all. Do not recommend. And so because of all of that, we ended up recently, I took Nora to the DMV and got her an enhanced ID. So that should be arriving any day now. Hopefully that never happens again, because I think Nora is a little bit traumatized and I was like concerned, and yeah. So that was a whole thing. Again, I'm using my Rytech brush pens. This is another sticker from the Richard Scarry book. This is just some random ephemera that I collected from our couple days there. So this was from our ticket to the Shaw Museum of Play we went to on the way home in Rochester. My husband got a new hat. This was a coaster from where we stayed. And then these are from a couple of little tiny toys Nora chose while we were at the museum. And when I got home, I came home to some happy mail from my bestie, Jen Boom Creates. So I cut out the little part of the note she wrote and the little doodle that she put on the address portion of the envelope, which I love. So I'm so glad that's in here forever. And included one of the stickers that came with what she sent for me. So we had like Thursday to just chill, but all of the playdate plans we had set in place had to be switched up. So I wrote about that. And then how we ended up getting all this money back from all of my urgent care visits, the many that I had back at the beginning of, I think it was like the middle of March when I had pneumonia. So we overpaid. So we got all these checks back, which actually was more than what I was scammed for. So God is good, y'all. So I journaled about that. I got my happy mail from According to Allie, and just talked about how happy I was to be in my own bed. I made this little like sticker cluster scene here. Happy to be in my craft room on Friday, getting back to filming content. Nora had a sleepover. These are from the rolls of washi I got when I was with Jen and Linda, so I put those in here. Let's see, we went to Good Friday service at our church, and I swallowed my crown because I ate a gummy bear. So I journaled about that. Then I also inked up my Hong Diam with my new, oh, that's what the ink is in here. The Diamine Earl Grey. Really pretty color. That's what this is all written in. Recommended by Jen. And then inked up my new Lamy Safari Extra Fine with the Sailor Jet Black ink. So love those two pen and ink combos. Let's see, talking about, Saturday morning, I went to this like Earth Day event at Lululemon where you could like trade in some old clothes for a little store credit. It was like nothing really, but I was glad to get a little credit and recycle my older clothing. Nora had a play date with her friend Olive. Matt and I have been watching White Lotus season 2. And then how we just had a lot of family time in the evening, which was great. We decided to get dinner out and then do a little shopping and take Nora for to look for her bike and all that kind of stuff. And then Sunday was church. I shared this in my Instagram stories, just a little selfie of us. What else? Matt picked up Nora's new bike that she had picked out, but it was jacked up, so we had to go exchange it, which we ended up doing later that week. Nora had her little annual scavenger hunt for her Easter basket at home, and then we had friends over for Easter dinner. Monday, I was very grumpy, and my husband and I had a little tiff, so I journaled about that and covered it up. What else? Today was a shitstorm. Let's see. It just was not, it was like a real true Monday, I guess. It was our last day home before going back to work at the end of our spring break. Oh, because I had scheduled my dentist appointment to get my crown fixed, but I missed it completely. So I ended up having to reschedule it for the next day. So it was like a whole thing. And then, yeah, I was just grumpy about it from that then on out. But we did pick up Nora's new bike. And then I started working out again. Sorry, my husband called me. So it was like not a great day. It was just annoying. Like I was driving all over the place, having to exchange this bike, and customer service was like super long, of course. I don't know why, but it was crazy long in the middle of the morning on Monday. And had to wait in line forever to like return the bike that my husband got that was damaged. Then went and picked out the one she wanted, which that's a whole other story. But then when we got back to customer service, we had to wait in an even longer line to like just exchange it. Anyway, I was just not happy. And then Matt and I got in a tiff, and it was just a crappy day. I was glad to get back to work. But because of all the dental stuff, I put this little journal, or this little cutout from the calendar. I'm getting some weird vibes. Says these two regular toothbrushes, and then this is like the one that I use. It's like a sonic pulse vibrating. Anyway, just so punny. So I ended up going in to get my crown replaced, but the dentist didn't realize it was that big of a deal. He thought it was just like a little chipped tooth. So he needed more time for that type of appointment. So rather than like waste my time coming in again, day 2 of driving all the way out there, and only to turn around, he tried to create a temporary crown out of acrylic powder, which literally is the same stuff they use to make nails. And if you can imagine, it was literally the worst thing I have ever tasted, guys. It was nasty. Capitals, exclamation points, expletives all around. It tasted like it smells when you walk by the nail salon, okay? But it was in my mouth, and I had to bite down on it multiple times for him to try to shape this like temporary crown over my molar where the crown fell off, and in the end it didn't even work. So I was not happy. Then he didn't want me to leave like after all that, so he's like, let me just seal it off. I'll put some sealant on it. It'll take 2 seconds, you'll be good. You probably don't, I'm not going to numb you up, blah blah blah. Might be a little uncomfortable, but it'll only be for a second. Well, it was only for a second, but it was very uncomfortable and sensitive, and it was not pleasant, and it also tasted disgusting. It was so bad, guys. It made my eyes water. Like, I didn't cry, but my eyes were physically watering because it was so painful and disgusting. So that was my experience in the morning on Tuesday. My one day off, because at this point I decided to work 4 days a week because I'm not right. Nora lost another tooth, so I doodled a little tooth. And I wrote, how does she have any left? It was Earth Day. YouTube was taking forever to upload my one video, which was super annoying. And I was just really proud of myself for, after day 1, like you do your first day workout. I actually did day 2. I felt like, okay, like it's kind of like taking momentum, like, all right, here we go. We're like when you're pedaling a bike and you start really slow, but then you're in a groove. This is me being like, okay, I'm glad I'm starting really slow. Here we go. Let's build up momentum. Let's keep staying motivated. So this is that gray ink too on these pages, which I just love it. It's like subtle. It's not super dark, but it's still juicy. I don't know. It's really fun. Okay. My very terrible journaling or doodle of Nora on her bike. Some more stickers from Linda and from Amy Tangerine's book. All these little black sticker doodles are from sticker PET, like whatever roll that I got when I was with Jen and Linda. So talking about Nora learning how to ride her bike, being really tired and eating all the coffee for work. How it was really fun for me because I got to be in the like younger kids self-contained classroom. It'd been a while, so that was nice. And how I took Nora to dance because my husband had like this worship thing for church, and I got this little picture of her with her. It's blurry, but because it was a video that I screenshot of her dancing. Let's see what else. Oh, took Nora to the DMV. That's the day we got her enhanced ID, or at least ordered it. It's coming in the mail. I covered throughout the day meetings that general ed teachers had with their special ed team for individual students. So I got to like bop around from class to class, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then we also found out a lot of, like 3 of the teachers that are at the school were let go or given the option to resign. And so I journaled my personal thoughts about that, and also started my commonplace book this day. So my order came in for my washi dots. So I put the little like sticker covers from the end of the washi dots in there. Did a little stamping in my journal because I don't know why I don't do that more often. I have 1,000 stamps and I never use them, so I decided to put them in. So this was like a little, obviously it's supposed to be a little iPhone, and I just talked about how I'd been texting with the dentist over her mouth pain, and so I ended up getting her into her dentist for an emergency visit this day. So I did work a half day, and then took Nora in. She had so many mouth ulcers. She still does, actually. And tons of teeth coming in, including her 12-year molar. So her mouth has been very, very painful. And the poor thing has been around the clock on either ibuprofen or Tylenol. And it got to the point where this past Friday, I ended up reaching out to her orthodontist, and they are going to see her actually on Monday. So we'll see. But unfortunately, I think she's going to have either, God forbid it be jaw surgery. I hope not. I pray it's not that serious. I think they're going to have to pull a bunch of teeth. because she's got a very tiny jaw and a ton of teeth. So pray for us. We had pizza, so I put this in here, I had pizza, and we went to like this, we met my husband after work at this place that's got like all different places to eat inside. It's really cool. It's like an indoor food court. I've talked about it before. Nora ended up getting her empanadas, and my husband got a wrap. I got ice cream or pizza, and then we got ice cream after, and we took Nora for a nice long bike ride. I did a house refresh on Saturday, so I cleaned the house. I took down all of our Easter decor, and then I started prepping to put out my lemons that I put out every year at summertime. Have not been sleeping well, so I journaled all about that. I put this little illustration in here because it's like the giraffes carrying all this stuff, got all this stuff going on. So that's kind of how I felt this day. It was like a day of tackling chores around the house. I had a headache. Nora had a sleepover with her friend Fiona, and Matt and Nora went shopping before her friend came over. They got like boba and got a few new clothes and did the grocery shopping and that kind of stuff. Let's see. Sunday, church day. Got a lot done even before church. So I talked about that, and I ended up putting all my lemon decor up. So that's why I put this little illustration here. And then I just had some leftover stickers, so I put those in there. Nora got her haircut after church, and then her friend came over for a play date. I got to be in kindergarten on this day, so I was excited about that. I decided to go with the flow with this like glitter sticker. I've been like, how am I going to use this? And I figured, oh, that's perfect for kindergarten. And then I used like these glitter, what are they, Kurachi from Zebra on here. I don't know. They're not my favorite. I don't really know how else to use them though. So I decided if ever I was going to use them, it was going to be in, with this sticker. I got a lot done. This was after school and before I took Nora to dance. So I worked out. I updated my planners. I did the dishes. I took Nora for a bike ride. I cleaned out the cat's like food area that gets jacked up. I put all the laundry away that was still left out drying. I packed Nora's snacks and put her outfit out for the next day. I made dinner. I pre-planned May, like what stickers I wanted to use for each week in my May spreads. And I did all of that between like 2:45 and 5 o'clock when we left, or when we had dinner and then left for dance. The kindergartners presented at the monthly morning program at school. It was super cute. I said at dance I got to watch and help during pop class, and I kept telling the girls that they had T-Rex arms and needed to like really extend their arms. So I thought this was the perfect little illustration, and also said my mood at the end of the day was this. I was tired, okay? I don't normally take Nora to dance, but my husband has had things going on at night for church leadership stuff, so I took her. And then to wrap up April, I have some stickers left over and washi from Paper Minty Studio. This is from that washi roll from Linda, as are these. This is an old Heidi Swap washi. This is a mild liner. No, this is a Faber-Castell brush pen. These are Rytech brush pens, and these are inked up. This ink is my Lamy Safari with the Sailor Jet Black ink. Again, still not sleeping well. Nora ended up coming into her room in the middle of the night, so I think I was half out of it and just got in bed with her, and then I woke up at some point around 5 and was like half off the bed, so I got up and went back in my own bed. Feeling just like tired, not that excited about anything really, just having a weird day. And then it was a terrible evening. Nora had a giant meltdown because I had promised we'd take her to our favorite ice cream place that was open for the season. It had just opened the previous week, and when we got there, it was closed. So Nora had like a full-on exorcist meltdown that lasted like an hour, and my husband had to leave because he had to go to another event, and I was home dealing with it. Filmed a ton of content, because this is my only day off now. So I think I talked about how I filmed 3 videos and 2 reels. And then for wrapping up the month, I got us Starbucks before school because, and this day, so it's interesting. So he had to leave early for an event, like a leadership event for church. So he said goodnight to Nora, and he wasn't even going to see her till after school Wednesday because he had to be at work for a thing out, just like a little bit out of town. And I had to leave at like 5 in the morning. So I was responsible for doing all the bedtime and then getting Nora up in the morning and getting our lunches together and making sure we were out the door on time. And I did that all before work and was able to stop and get a Starbucks, which was fun. And this was the day that they made up part 2 of their English language arts portion of the New York State test. So that was why I wanted to treat us both to Starbucks. And nobody was out this day. I thought I was going to get to be a hall monitor again, but instead I ended up being in special ed, which was fine. And then we finally did get Dutch Otter. We finally did get our ice cream. And I talked about how I felt like I was a super mom because he was supposed to bring her to dance for the first time in over a week. Because if you remember, I was bringing her. But I decided to bring her because poor Matt ended up being at this work site until dinner time, and he was so tired. So I ended up, before he got home, making sure dinner was ready, and it's garbage night. So I took out all the garbages, which is usually his job, did the dishes. I tried to do everything so that all he would have to do was just clean up the dishes from like dinner. And yeah, I think that was it. So, so he got to stay home while I took Nora to dance again, which was fun. And I was glad because he's always the one making sacrifices. So it felt good to do that for him. And that sums up my month, y'all. That's a lot. I love these pages. I love journaling. I will never get tired of it, I don't think. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know if you have questions, too, about anything I talked about, any products I shared. I'm happy to give you links if I can. Definitely check out my Amazon storefront, though, because that's where a lot of the links exist. And don't forget that you can use Gen 10 when you shop anything from According to Allie or Laurel Denise. And I have a link if you've never purchased from Coffee Monster Co. To save a little bit of money on that in my description box. But that's going to wrap up this chatty video. Thank you guys so much for being here and following along with me. And I hope to see you in the next one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can come back for more. I'll see you guys. Take care. Remember that you are enough. Bye.